So let's create our automation framework. We're going to use Spring STS as a text editor. So let's start Spring STS, hit run. And here we have to specify the location of the folder we want to create a project. It's going to be on a desktop, and the folder is going to be Sugaring Factory. If we hit launch, and we see the folder is created. Inside the folder, we're going to have all the files and folders for our project. So let's make that thing bigger. We're going to close that. We're not going to need it. And we're going to create two Maven projects. Let's go right button, Maven. And we have to create a simple project. Go next. We have to specify the group ID. We're going to pick up com.sugaring. And for the artifact ID, we're going to, let's do, what are we going to do? We're just going to do testing framework. And click finish. We're going to have our first project created right here. So we have to create another Maven project. And we're going to do the same. Simple project, go next. For the group ID, the same group ID, com.sugaring. And for the artifact ID, this time we're going to pick up something else. Let's do just all tests. And click finish. And we have both a Maven project created. And here we can see at the end of the project we have pom.xml file. Inside that file, we have to specify our dependencies. And don't worry, Maven is just another way for managing our dependencies. And we can see we have to put some XML code after the closing of that version tag. Before the closing of that project tag, we have to do some configuration. And we have to do the same thing over here. The pom.xml, just go on the last tab, and right after the closing of that version tag and before the closing of the project tag, we're gonna do our configuration right here. So I pre-typed that XML for you, so you don't have to type it. So let's copy and paste it, and I'm gonna explain to you what the XML does. So let's copy the whole thing, and we're gonna paste that right about here. Okay, so right here you see we have a dependencies tag. Inside we're gonna have all the dependency. In this case we just have two. First dependency is our testing framework, the project right here, and the name has to be the same. So let's change that. The project is testing dash framework, all small letters. Let's do that. Testing dash framework. And the name of the project has to be the same, the group ID. Sugaring, com.sugaring. Okay, it's the same. Right here we have a JUnit. So we're going to use a JUnit only in this project. Down there we have Maven compiler with that version, and we have a Java, that version 1.8. So in our next project we have to do the same. So let's go and copy that piece of XML. Now close that and paste it right here. Okay, as a dependency, we have a Java, we have a Selenium driver 3.7, and the same thing. The Maven compiler has to be the same version as the one right here, 3.6.1, and the Java version as well, 1.8. Okay. All right. So let's save those files, and now we can go right mouse button, and then look for Maven where it says Maven. Let's see, where is Maven? Right about here, and update projects. So let's update both of the project and press OK. See, the Java version is changed from 1.5 to 1.8. That means our project is updated thanks to Maven. Thank you, Maven. So let's organize our project first. We're going to delete some folders so we're not going to get confused. Let's delete those 3 folders. We're just going to leave test/Java, and here we're going to do the same. And the testing framework, we're going to do the same. Let's just leave 1 folder. If we need more folders, we're going to create that later. Okay. Now our projects are a little more cleaner. Okay. So we're going to start doing our tests. We're going to start right here at our test project. We're going to create new Java, or let's do we're going to use JUnit, right? Let's do JUnit test case. The same package, com.sugaring, and name regression tests. Let's do regression test. And we can click finish. Okay, so we're gonna write the test cases with JUnit. Let's close some tabs. And here we have to specify the name of our test case. Can go to homepage. And the naming convention has to be, you can choose whatever you want, camel case, snake case. And let's do, so here we have to type our syntax. So we can think for something that is really easy to understand. So let's do browser.homepage.goto. So everyone that gonna see our code, it's going to be very easy for him to understand what the code does. So let's create a browser class. We're gonna click that red thing right here. We have to go to a testing framework project. See, we only have 1 folder here. So let's select that folder. Click OK and click finish. Now we have a browser class created in our testing framework project. So let's create our homepage method. It's going to be a public method, and homepage, and it's going to return class homepage. So we have to create that class homepage now. First, we have to make the method static. Let's make it static first. And let's go to homepage. Let's do our goto method, of course. Save that. Go back to browser. And something is wrong. Our old test project doesn't know the existence of that testing framework project. So let's go properties, right button, properties. Let's go to project, and we have to add that testing framework project. Click OK, apply, and right now everything is fine. It's very good. We don't have any warning right now. Okay, let's finish that. Here, let's create a final functionality. We're gonna type. We're gonna create a new class driver dot go to homepage. Class driver with go to homepage method. Let's create that driver class. We can do that from that red button right here. Create class driver and click finish. Very easy, huh? So in our driver method, we're gonna have all the Selenium functionality here. We're only going to use Selenium right here in that driver class and nowhere else. So let's create that driver instance. We're gonna go WebDriver. Driver is equal to new Chrome driver, and let's hover with mouse right here. We're gonna import that WebDriver, and we're gonna import that Chrome driver functionality. So right now we have a driver class created, and you have to copy that goTo method, and we're gonna create a goTo method right about here. So we're gonna go public static, of course, and the method name is going to be goTo, and we have to make that driver also static. Let's do private static, and static means that it's going to be only one instance of that driver, and all the methods going to use that driver. So driver get, and let's copy the URL. This is the website that we're going to use. Go to home page. Let's copy that and paste it right here. So we're gonna go to the home page of that website. Nice, very good. So one more thing, let me show you what I did right here. We're gonna go to my computer. Let's type com, and inside the C drive I created that folder dev, and inside we have folder tools, and we have our cron driver, gecko driver, and selenium server. This is gonna use what we're gonna use in that project. And if we go to system environment variables, right here I have the path to that cron driver. So you can go new path, you can path name, and the path to the driver. This is what I did right here. See, edit gecko path and the path that I just showed you right now. So if you guys do that, you don't have to go to type system set properties, the path name, and the driver name. So right now, if we start the project, but let's do something else first. Let's verify the title. We're gonna do browser.homepage, verify title, and here we're going to use some of the JUnit functionality. Why are we gonna use? We have to use JUnit, right? So we're gonna do assert true, and that method verify title, it has to return a Boolean value. So let's create that method inside our homepage class. Let's go to homepage, and we have to create that verify title, right? Okay, it's going to be another public. Public is going to return Boolean, and the name of the method is verify title. So here we have, let's return true, just to avoid that warning. And let's create a string. Let me just show you something. This is our web page, and if we go right button, view page source, we can see the title right here. So let's copy that string. This is the title of our web page right to here. Let's go copy, and we're gonna create string title. Let's call that title, and that's the whole thing. That's the whole title. Okay, and oh yeah, that's better. Let's zoom in a little bit. So we're gonna go driver. This is our class driver, and we have to create method. Let's call that get home title. We're gonna compare that using our equals method. We're gonna compare that to that title that we just paste. Okay, and we have to return that. We have to return that to JUnit, right? Don't remember that. Let's remove that thing. and we have to create the get home title method. Let's go to driver and create that method. Let's go public static get home title, and getting the title with Selenium is very easy. We're gonna do just driver dot get title. That's it. Let's just do to string just to make sure. I'm pretty sure the get title method returns string, but let's just do to string, and we have to return that. So we have to return the string value from that method, and we have to use the keyword return right here. So method is going to return string, right? And right here, everything looks fine. Let's start the project to see what's up. The project is started and we have a green light. Yes, very good. Let's close that, and let's change something a little bit. Let's go to that very long string and just erase one letter. Save that and start the project again. Okay, nice. Everything is fine, and we have a red light. What's going on? Let's close that thing and check the error. Let's close that update. And here we have assertion failure. Regression test line 12 is our error. See, it's pretty descriptive. Very good. Okay, what are we gonna do next? Let's fix that, and let's go to our regression tests. We finished with our first test. Let's create another one. It's going to be, we have to follow the same convention. We keyword test before the name of the method, public void. Let's call that method. So right now we're in the home page, right? Home page, and we're gonna go to our login page. Login, we're gonna press that button with Selenium, and we're gonna enter that credentials right here, the name and the password, and we're gonna press the login button. Okay, so let's create a method. User can log in. Awesome. So we're gonna follow the same convention from above. Browser.login page .go to. See, we're following the same convention. We're gonna do some typing, but if we do a very long cases, this thing is gonna save us a lot of headache. So the second functionality is going to be browser login page. Let's do just login user or login user. Okay, so let's create that login page, right? So do you remember what we did before? Let's do the same thing. We're gonna do the same thing as we did with the home page. Let's go to a browser class and create another public static method. It is going to return login page, and the name of the method is going to be login page with small letter, small first letter. Okay, and let's fix that to static, and let's create that login page class. Let's click on that red warning, create new class, and just finish. That's it. Pretty easy. Login page, and we're gonna create public go to method, public static go to, and our browser driver, of course, driver, and let's call that go to login page, login, and let's go to a driver class. This has to be return void, so we're not going to return anything from that. Let's do void and go to our driver class. Let's copy that. We're going to go to, where are you, driver? Okay, right here. And public static void, we're not returning anything. Go to logging. Okay, what are we gonna have here? We're gonna have driver dot find element by XPath, of course. We're gonna use XPath in this demo. And here we're gonna have our XPath and we're gonna click. So we're gonna click on that login tab that we had right here. So let's find the XPath for, we're on the home page, right? Home page, we have to find the XPath for that login tab. Inspect element. We have a UL list and anchor tag with text. What is the text? What attributes do we have in that anchor tag? href. We just have text login. Okay. So we're gonna use which div? This div, span 12. We're gonna use the div span 12, and inside that div we have a list and anchor tag. So let's do an XPath / attribute, @ symbol for attribute, class. Let's type class equal to that thing that we just copied, span 12, and the element is div, of course. So we are right here, and we're gonna need that list with text login. So / is means it's a relative path list, and this is how we find by text using XPath. We're using the function text equal to login. That's it. And we have to add a anchor because we have a list and then we have anchor inside the list with text login. Let's copy the XPath and paste it right about here. Good. Okay, what are we gonna do now? Let's go on. So let's create that login method, right? Something is wrong. We have a yellow indication. Oh, okay. Let's go. We have to do we just have to do to remove that static thing. We don't need to be static. And let's create that method. Yeah, public void login user, and let's create username and password. It's gonna be string username, and we're on the login page right now, and we're just gonna copy and paste those credentials. The email, which is nas@nas.nas, and oh, I put private. Doesn't have to be private. Yeah, let's remove that. We can make it final. Doesn't matter. Let's do another string. Password, and the password is ATANAS. Nice and straight. So we're gonna go to driver and create a user login method. Driver.userLogin, and we're going to pass that email and password string that we have up above right here. We're gonna pass the email as the first parameter, comma, and we passing the password as a second parameter. So let's create that user login method in a driver class. Let's go to a driver class and create that method. And remember, it's gotta be public static user login, and we have to pass two parameters, right? Two string parameters, string username and another string which is password, of course. Okay. All right, so what are we gonna do? We're not gonna return anything from here, so void, let it be void driver dot find element by XPath, of course, and we have to find the XPath for that username. And after we do that, we're just gonna send keys. So we're gonna send the keys username. So let's copy and paste that for password. This is exactly the same functionality, just I'm gonna use password here. So let's find the XPath for that input, for the input for our username. So we have the input here, input, and we just have name attribute equal to email, right? So it's very easy. So our XPath is going to be / input square brackets at for attribute name equal to email, and we have our input selected. Did you see that? Let's copy the XPath and paste it in our class driver right here. So the XPath for the password, it's going to be exactly the same, just the attribute is going to be equal to password, I assume. Password, and we have our password input selected, right? Let's paste that XPath. The next thing we have to do is we have to click on that login button. Let's go inspect element, right button, inspect element, and we have anchor with text login. We have diff, but the diff selects and that link forgot password. So we have a diff with attribute class login button, but we're going to select the whole thing when we don't need that second part, we just need that login part. So we have anchor / anchor text equal to login, or just / anchor could be enough. Okay, let's copy that. And let's paste that in our driver class. We have to create another driver dot find element by XPath, and the XPath is the one right here, and we have to click on that. Okay, fine, save that, and let's see what we've got. Starting our project, we're going to the home page, going to login, entering username, password, click OK. Nice, so cool. Okay, so we have to verify that we log in, right? We have that username NAS. So this is our real page, it's not. Let's press login, and we have a NAS username. Let's inspect that element. We just have a list anchor and with text NAS. So let's create another functionality in our login page, which is going to be verify user. And now we're using the same functionality like the method above, right? We have to practice that so we can remember how we do that. So let's use assert true using those JUnit functionalities, right? Assert true, and we have a verify username method in our login page that is going to return a Boolean value. Okay, let's go to our login page. And let's create a method. Public Boolean. We're gonna return Boolean, right? Boolean verify username. And if we create a string, the username, it's just NAS, N-A-S, like the one right here. NAS with capital letter, N-A-S. And we're gonna return driver. We're gonna create method get username in our driver class right now, and we're gonna use the equal function, and we're gonna compare that username that we have right here. Copy, let's call it user. Simplify that a little bit, user. Okay, so we're going to our driver class and we're gonna create that get username method. Going to a driver class, and the same approach, public static and void get username, and driver dot find element, always the same thing, find element by XPath. The XPath right here, and the XPath for this username is, let's inspect that. List, we have a class top row. Let's use that div element with class top row, and oh, it looks like this is the one. And we have an anchor tag at the end. Anchor tag, let's copy that and paste it right here. So let's do get text. Yes, we have a Selenium option get text right here, and we have to return that, right? We have to return that string. And the return type of the method is string. Save that. Assert true is, I don't misspell assert. Just one S should be enough. Okay, let's see what we've got. Start the project. Going to home page, going to login page, entering username, password, and comparing. Everything is fine, and then we have a green light. Good, green is good. Okay, let's create a next method. The same approach. Add test, public void, and what are we gonna do right now? Let's go to, we are right here. We have to create the home page. We're gonna select, let's do the last element, and we're gonna add that to a cart. So let's call our method user can select items. And inside, guess what we're gonna have inside? We're gonna have browser, and we already create a method homepage, right? So we can use it right here, browser.homepage.goto. See, the one that we did right here, it pays back, so we can just use it. We don't have to type anything. We have to go to our homepage and select that last item, browser.homepage. We just have to create method select super, let's see, what is the name of the super 12 deal. So let's super 12 deal, and let's just create that method in our homepage class. So we go into our homepage class and let's do public void that method name that we just wrote, and inside we're going to have just driver dot get 12 deal. Let's keep that a little simple. And we have to create that get 12 deal method in our driver class. Let's go to our driver class. Right here is our driver class, and let's create that method. Public static void the name of the method, and right here we have to type some stuff. First, this button right here, let's inspect that element. We have a span with a text add to cart. Nice and easy. Let's do relative path / span element square brackets attribute. No, we're gonna use function text equal to that text add to cart, and we have array of 8, right? We have array of 8 returned by that